serve them my notice of intent to sue, which I have a right to do. So hopefully my rights won't be infringed upon. I'm sorry.
You've been told downstairs. Now you're going to get arrested.
I like it.
Welcome to the Thedummykruger channel, everyone. Today's video brings us up north to the beautiful city of Schenectady, New York, where we find the arrest of New York State Audit in the City Hall building. The delicious irony of this arrest is New York State Audit was just found guilty for trespassing at the exact same building mere days ago. That conviction stems from the video playing here that took place on June 21st. Let's see what he had to say about that.
On a sad note, they still kept the charges for the June 21st arrest, when I was arrested with that citizen, when I was doing the story there about discrimination. So the judge denied my motions to dismiss. She wasn't trying to hear none of it, even when we provided court facts when it comes to cases that went to the appellate courts, and she still dismissed it. So they didn't give me any jail time or anything like that. They want me to pay a surcharge. One case was the charges were dropped. The other case I was convicted of trespassing. So I'm going to take it to the Court of Appeals. I'm going to appeal it, and I'm going to keep you guys updated with that for sure.
New York State Audit was performing this monologue on October 13th, where he informs us that he was successful in one of his arrests while being found guilty of another. I've linked that arrest video in the description below. Let's see what else he had to say.
I'm going to be here soon, all right? Maybe even tomorrow, okay? Because I'm going to come in here and I'm going to serve their asses with something, all right? And you already know, normally I don't say when I'm going to do stuff like that, but I'm coming here to sue their asses, period. So if you guys are watching, anybody from City Hall, prepare yourself, okay? Because I'm coming in this and I'm going to film like I always do. I'm going to sue your asses. I'm going to be here tomorrow. I'm going to file a complaint with Human Resources against Raymond Favenbach because he put his hands on me twice. You know what I'm saying? This guy is just disrespectful. He sat there and said my name, or excuse me, my address out loud, and straight disrespectful. You know what I mean? Like, I'm telling you.
Man, that was some big talk. So he doesn't actually go back the very next day where he was just convicted for trespassing. He waits until October 17th to return. And when he returns, he is informed there has been a new mayoral executive order written on the very same day of his conviction, October 13th.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. New York State Audit here, exercising our constitutional rights at the Schenectady City Hall, located in Schenectady, New York. So we're here to serve my notice of intent to sue.
Now, I gotta tell you cannot videotape. Here. If you do, you will be arrested.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. What'd you say?
Give me that paper.
Is there a paper for me or something?
Yep. Once you videotape, you will be arrested. That's just not for you, it's for everyone.
Here we have the security at City Hall handing New York State Audit the new executive order. The security personnel also informs him that, per the order, he will be arrested if he continues to video record in the building. We'll be going over that order in a few minutes. So after being handed this and being informed of the new executive order, our auditor of course doesn't bother to read it and continues on his little merry way. First stop.
Yes, how are you today? Good morning.
Good.
Question, the lady who works there...
She's not here right now.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know what time she's going to be in.
Yeah, that's not even my question. Just give me a second.
Okay.
Just hear me out. Her name is Marielle?
Yeah?
Marielle Smith, right? I believe it is? Okay, I was just making sure because I was here on the 13th.
Okay.
And I was just trying to, just look in and stuff, and
Oh, come on, man. You got to try a little bit harder than I was just looking and stuff.
I was being blocked by one of the city hall officers.
Okay.
And she came up to me asking me if I needed any help, and I asked her who she was. Respectfully, cordial conversation like we're having right now, and she wouldn't identify herself, and I asked her like 3 or 4 times.
You poor, poor boy.
Their feelings really are fragile, aren't they? We all know it wouldn't be a proper audit if we didn't have some complaints to turn in. Let's go check these out.
If you can be also kind, and this is a complaint that I wanted to redress my grievances.
Sure. Okay.
If you could also, do you guys give like stamped copies of that or like anything to me, or you just email me, or like how's that work?
I can make you a copy. I can certainly write on there.
Okay.
Received by me.
Okay.
Does that work for you?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
Can you give me a couple more packets?
Sure.
Looks like I'm going to be needing quite a few, because it says,
Thank
because
you.
I noticed on there when you file the complaint, that particular one, it says you could check mark a box that says if you're followed or being harassed and stuff like that. So that's what's been going on to me. And if I'm still here, I'm not sure how long it's going to take, but I'm sure they'll come here as well and prove my point. So that's why I'm going to need a couple more. Because,
All right. I'll have you hold on to that because that
Yes.
is for your record.
Okay, awesome.
I will make a copy of this.
All right. So I'm going to continue showing you this executive order, Office of the Mayor.
Unfortunately, the order is so new it's not even available yet on their website. However, the auditor did show us some of the relevant parts on camera. I did my best to grab what I could. So part of Section 1 reads, consistent with decisions of the U.S. Supreme Court, public access to areas within enclosed facilities owned, controlled, and leased by the City of Schenectady that the city utilizes for its purposes may be restricted depending on whether such areas are classified as designated public forum, limited designated public forum, or non-public forum. How areas within enclosed facilities owned, controlled, and leased by the City of Schenectady are classified is based upon their intended use. Continuing, the mayor has the authority to identify which areas are to be considered designated public forums, limited designated public forums, or non-public forums. The mayor, subject to the availability of appropriated funds, may employ whatever means he or she deems necessary and appropriate to separate designated public forums from non-public forums, including, but not limited to, the use of physical barriers and signage. The mayor may develop and implement procedures to regulate and control public access within city-owned, controlled, and leased property to provide for the security and privacy of public visitors, to provide for the security and private of city employees and officers, and to minimize potential disruptions to the work of city government. Any person who engages in conduct that causes disruptions to the work of city government shall be deemed to no longer be present within city-owned, controlled, or leased property on legitimate public business. Unauthorized persons found by the mayor or his or her designee to be within a non-public forum and who refuses to leave the premises upon request to do so shall be considered a trespasser. So one example of a non-public forum is, of course, City Hall, where our friend Daniel is right now. It shall be unlawful and a violation of this order to photograph and or record with video and or sound within city-owned, controlled, and leased property that the city utilizes for its purposes, without the consent of all persons whose voice or image is being recorded. In addition to being a violation of this order, if anyone is observed to be photographing, videoing, and or recording sound within city-owned, controlled, or leased property, without the consent of all persons whose voice or image is being recorded, and such a person refuses to cease activity after being advised that such activity is prohibited under this order, such refusal shall be considered to be a disruption to the work of city government. Therefore, such persons shall be deemed to no longer be present within the city-owned, controlled, or leased property that the city utilizes for its purposes on legitimate public business. Any person who refuses to cease the unconsented to photographing, videoing, and or sound recording and refuses to immediately leave the premises following the request of the mayor or his or her designee to do so shall be considered a trespasser. Law enforcement, at its option, at the request of the city, may issue a trespass warning notice followed by such criminal legal action as law enforcement deems proper. Let's see what our auditor thinks about this new executive order. Remember, he doesn't read the document, he just scans over it with his camera.
So all I see is the mayor's signature, director of operations Alex Sullivan's signature, and that's it. I don't see anything from a judge or, This is not legal.
That settles that.
When all else fails, going with the Nutella de Castro nope defense seems to always be the play. Let's take a quick look at one more document before he encounters security and the police. So what was our auditor actually doing at City Hall? He was dropping off this nice little notice of intent to sue letter. Now, we've seen a lot of these letters lately. However, it stops after that. We rarely see a lawsuit going forward. He writes below, as a result of the violations stated in the plaintiff's statement attached to this notice of intent to sue, the plaintiff seeks relief in the form of payment in the amount of $100,000.
Serve them my notice of intent to sue, which I have a right to do. So hopefully my rights won't be infringed upon. I'm sorry.
You've been told downstairs. Now you're gonna get arrested.
You want to be nice and apologize for stepping on me?
What?
Would you like to apologize for stepping on me?
Stepping on you?
Yeah, you kicked my foot. You stepped on me.
You're such a liar.
Okay, whatever, man.
Your parents must have really loved you.
Psych.
I absolutely lost it when he did this. I haven't heard psych in over 20 years. That was absolutely incredible. And this is the same guy that's going to be suing the whole city of Schenectady, New York. Psych.
You have to leave.
You want to get out my way?
Nope.
I'm trying to walk. You want to get out my way, sir? Wow. Impeding my movement, huh? You mind not blocking my shots?
Go up.
I'm trying to take pictures and video. You're violating my rights. I'm just trying to take pictures of video. All right, so we're continuing to record. I had to pause it because I thought I was going to have to go through the mag, but New York State court officer, Sergeant Carpenter told me that I didn't have to. Awesome guy, I've dealt with him quite a few times, always professional and cordial. Can't say the same for Raymond Pfaffenbach, excuse me.
Never miss a great opportunity for some good old childish homophobic insults. I do find it quite fascinating that a great deal of these auditors seemingly stop maturing at a much younger age than seems typical.
I got the proof and everything. You know there's cameras in these hallways, right?
They're closed.
No, they're not. There's business hours.
Nope,
This is
they're
during business
closed.
hours.
They're closed.
Wow. Christopher Caldwell, is that who you calling? So now you're denying me my right to serve my notice of claim, my notice of
We're on
intent
the
to
second
sue.
floor. Come up.
Interesting. All right. So let's see if we go back to Miss McCutcheon. Nah, I didn't break nothing, so you can see for yourself. This is what he's talking about. Look at this guy.
No, you broke it. Who's
Look at this
banging on
guy. Look at the piece is just disconnected. It's one of those pieces that you just hook it, and he's trying to say I broke it. It's disconnected. You're a clown and a tyrant. All right, so it looks like we're gonna have to go. Oh, glad you're here. Perfect. If you guys can come over here and give me some assistance. You want who arrested? For doing what? For breaking what law? For what crime have I committed?
You're banging on it.
Knocking? Sorry, it got disconnected, not broken. What'd you say? Stop walking? No, don't restrict me. Am I being detained or something? For what?
Trespassing.
Trespass? Hold on, I'm trying to serve them my notice of intent to sue. Are you serious?
Change money back.
For what crime? Seriously, what crime have I committed?
Trespass.
No videotape.
All right. What's your name? Officer KB Raywall. Badge number, please. 114. And you're Richard Desbians. What's your badge number?
Oh, I just love it. He's literally getting handcuffed and all I can think about is name and badge number, name and badge number. They rarely get off their script, so good for them, I guess. This cop has actually arrested this man before. Why keep asking him for his badge number? I really do love the irony in this whole story. The video starts off by telling us he was convicted of trespassing in City Hall building, and within a few days, he is arrested again for the same exact charge. Hollywood would deem this too unbelievable. Alright guys, I think that's going to wrap it up for today's video. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see similar content in the future, please consider subscribing, liking, and commenting below. This is Dummy Kruger, and I'll see you on the next one.